Dreams and the Altura property. If they have customers from down here and there's going to be any cannibalization, we'll cannibalize our competitors' customers as much as we will our own. So we'll still have that business. So I don't think there's going to be a big cannibalization factor. Besides, all we're going to do is grow the market. Because, to give you an example, I don't know what the percentage of visitation to a casino that occurs in this part of the world, but I could tell you it's 13% in the United States. If people came once a year, and it's not that, because 39 million people out of 300 million, it's 13%. So there's an enormous potential. It's insatiable. In my lifetime, and since you're at least a million years younger than I am, not in your lifetime.
Stay with us more with Sheldon Adelson, CEO of Las Vegas Sands, in just a moment. Managing Asia, we'll be right back.
Free real-time quotes on the web and your mobile device. CNBC.com.
Metal detecting. It's the hobby that pays for itself. Just ask Terry Herbert. He discovered the largest Anglo-Saxon treasure ever found. More than 1,500 artifacts worth over $2 million. And he found it with his metal detector from White's Electronics. Call right now for your free catalog. Models start at under $200 and feature screens that show you what's in the ground before you dig. Call for your free catalog and start detecting today. Imagine what you'll find.
If you've ever dreamed of the perfect swim, for exercise, fun with your family, or relaxation at the end of the day, order a free DVD or video to learn more about the endless pool, your personal pool, at home.
A regular pool, first of all, you have turns that you have to concentrate on. Here, it's endless.
Indoors or outside.
Call 1-800-787-0748 to order a free DVD. That's 1-800-787-0748.
You're watching Managing Asia. Battered by the global financial crisis, Las Vegas Sands was hit by financial troubles, forcing it to stop projects in Macau to focus on building the Marina Bay Sands here in Singapore. To tell us what happened, we sat down with CEO Sheldon Adelson.
Let's talk about the financial crisis. The financial crisis saw credit dry up, and Sands was badly hit. You had to pump $1 billion of your own personal wealth to save the company from bankruptcy. Were you alarmed by how close the company came to collapse in 2008?
No.
You didn't even flinch?
No.
Not the least bit worried?
No.
Why?
Because I knew I had the money, and I was willing to put it in. I had picked up $3 billion. It was the largest secondary in history a couple of years earlier. So whatever that made, plus that, minus the taxes we paid. So we had plenty of money, my family, and we knew we were willing to put the money in. So why would I flinch? There was no reason for me. It was just people perceived that I should have been stressed out, and I would have flinched. I didn't want to do it. Why didn't I want to do it? I knew that the fundamentals of the company didn't change, and that the fundamentals of the company were as good as when the stock was 99% higher. I mean, it fell from a high of $148 and change down to $1.38. Now, part of that was because the previous management that I had and what they contributed or didn't contribute.
Has the financial crisis changed the way you finance your projects?
No. You got to understand something. The wisest thing to do is to talk to anybody in the financial industry. When you put up a new project, the wisest thing to do is to get something called project financing, meaning the project itself justifies the mortgage, the potential of the project and the ability of the project to make money and pay back the mortgage justifies itself. But what they did was bet the whole farm. They said, okay, we're going to give you the guarantees of the parent company. That's what was so ridiculous. They said, we're going to pledge our existing cash flow to get a mortgage for that property. And so when I said to them, what are you doing? And they said, well, we don't want to pay, we have to put up more equity. So the ridiculous answer to put up more equity is to put up 100% equity, and that's what they did. So they put more burden on the existing, more demands on the existing property. That's why we had to get more financing, because they got the wrong financing in the first place.
If you had to finance a new project from now onwards, would you do anything differently?
Listen, it was always my requirement that we do project financing. Sure. And this is project financed. Singapore is project financed. We had to put more equity in, but it's certainly better. Putting in 40% equity was a lot better than putting in 100% equity.
Let's talk about your Macau developments. I understand you've resumed your expansion in the Cotai Strip in Macau. Now, we know the Chinese government has imposed visa restrictions, reducing the number of visitors from mainland China. No, is Macau looking to be a more difficult market? No?
It doesn't seem to affect the visitation. Visitation went up substantially over the previous year. It keeps going up. No, it's not a straight line up, but it takes steps up.
But in terms of revenue,
once in a while they tighten the screws on the end. It's not on visitation to Macau. There are like 42 cities out of a zillion cities in China that they opened up the gates greater for them than what they did in the past by developing something called the Individual Visitor Scheme, which is IVS. So people, instead of applying for a visa every time they went, and they get as many visas as they want, or they get a visa for multiple visits. So they tightened the IVS, but they didn't tighten overall visas. And it only applied to individuals, traveling individually, and not to groups. So you can take 4 friends with you, so you got 5 people coming in your group. There were no limitations on that. So we didn't see a major impact. And now other people claim that they did, but we didn't see a major impact.
You're ramping up your construction there. You're building 3 more casino resorts in the Cotai Strip, I understand. You don't think...
If the government will allow us to do that.
If the government will allow. You don't think you're overbuilding in Macau? How long will it take for these investments to pay off?
We don't think we're overbuilding at all. Do you think that the Chinese culture is going to change? Chinese culture is not going to change. I don't know anybody who knows people that don't play mahjong for money. When I asked you, you said you don't play mahjong. Okay, you don't play mahjong. But believe me, you are a rarity. Because everybody, Chinese person I know, they love it. And it's an addiction. It's their form of entertainment.
The Asian culture might not change, but the economy could slow down. That could impact spending power of Chinese tourism.
Anything can happen. We could have an asteroid hit a part of the world, and just like they wiped out the T-Rexes, they wiped out the dinosaurs, they could wipe us out. Anything could happen. But I mean, the world has to go on. Life goes on, and you just assume that none of these natural disasters are going to hurt anything.
So looking at your Macau construction going on right now, how long will it take to pay off these investments you're putting in?
Rather quickly. Because
give
our
me a
business,
time frame.
Well, I can't give you a time frame. Because it all depends. If I had them all up and down, all built right now, and I was able to sell the apartments as condos, and I was able to sort of condominiumize the retail, I'd pay off 100% of the debt. Of the $14 billion we will have spent there. We're only taking $1.75 billion for a $4 billion project on lots 5 and 6. $4.25 billion project. So it's not a question of, on Monday morning I invest the money, and on Wednesday I get all the money, or Friday I get all the money to pay it off. It takes time to build. I couldn't build a project on a real fast track. To build an integrated resort at the fastest would be 3 years. But what I would do otherwise, not in Macau, because we don't have enough room, but if I go any other country I go to, I would do like the MBS, like Marina Bay Sands. I would not use the casino as the hub around which all the amenities would be spokes. I would make a separate entity by the casino and start generating income, in say 18 months. So if I could put up the casino